Dear participants, online and offline, thank you for being here again at CCI's Franchine. Today we're really happy to welcome Fesco Adeco, who is going to present us the digitalization of human resources management. Thank you again and have a good conference. I'm giving the microphone to Tian.
Merci Alex. Bonsoir. Bonne fête, professors. Today is Teachers' Day. Welcome everyone. My name is Chris. I'm from Fesco Adeco. Before I introduce today's part, please let me have an introduction about my company. So Fesco Adeco is a joint venture human resources company. It combined the Fesco Group and Adeco Group. And we provide like professional dispatchers, outsourcing, payroll services, employee welfare, recruitment, and all related HR solutions. We serve around 20,000 clients and 2 million associates on a daily basis. So if we're talking about HR is a department which deal with a lot of documentation, communication, regulation, or information daily basis with our employees, and how the technology can help us. So nowadays, more and more companies choose to move to SaaS solutions instead of putting a lot of effort to build a complicated systems. And SaaS model is more flexible and it's easy to deploy. Apart from that, and I understand everyone now in a personal life, you cannot leave your phone, right? But in the same way, in the professional life, we also got more and more requests from our employees, from our companies, is we want to work on our phone. We want to be mobile. And meanwhile, we noticed that a lot of AI chatbots now starting assist our HR team to communicate with our employees or even candidates. And actually, on the back end, there's AI and machine learning algorithm is helping the AI chatbot to be smarter. If we say RPA, which stands for robotic process automation, that is widely used to processing the repeatable, standardized process or documentation. And it saves a lot of time from our routine process, and makes our HR team can focusing more on analytics and digging out insights to help out the strategy and decision. And of course, we cannot ignore the power of social media, right? We can leverage this social media platform to set up our employer branding and also attract the good talents to join the company. So how this technology will be used or impact our daily management? Let's start from something everyone very familiar with, the 6 components of HR management. And we can start from recruitment. In the recruitment process, we have now the algorithm after we getting all the profiles, the candidate profiles from different channels, platforms. We're getting them into our talent pool. We have the algorithm to compare our profile versus the position requirement. It's making the decision faster, and it helps us to processing the profile faster. Then we use the chatbot to arrange the interviews, to do the pre-selections, pre-interviews. Then eventually we use the RPA tools to help on the onboarding process, to processing the documentation and the checklist. Now I will have a detailed practice share afterwards for this digital recruitment. Then if we move to compensation and benefit, payroll is always a very complicated process calculation in every company because it links with time management, it links with regulation, also it involves employees' package, right? Then but it is an area which had a lot of space for RPA to work. And my colleague Vivian is an expert in the payroll area. She will share more practice later in her session. And when we talk about benefits, company also provide different benefits package to different group of employees. But how about we have a one-stop shop benefits platform? And we don't need to really manage to remember everyone's package, what's included in the package. We just give points and they can select like their insurance, their festival gift, like we're having the mid-autumn coming, right? We ask employee to select their gift. We give their points, they can go to the platform to select. And even with daily shopping, they can go to this platform because we have a company discount to provide to our employees. So one platform, less management from the company, but more flexible choice from the employee, better employee experience. That's a win-win. Then if we talk about learning, instead of offline classroom learning, we have an online platform right now. So on one hand, our employee can use their fragment time to do the learning. But on another hand, company actually can set up the things like a learning map, competition between your colleagues, this gamification element, put them into the learning journey. Right? It will enable the fun of learning, and the employee will have more willingness to learn, to join the thing you set up for them. And when the platform collecting all this information, like employees' learning behaviors, employees' learning results, this information will be a quite big and good input for the development plan. You can use analytics tool to make employee individual develop plan. Then last part, I want to talk about the employee management. HR team always spending a lot of time answering our employees' inquiries. It also needs our HR team like expertise and get the latest regulation information updated. But how about we have a central knowledge bank in the company? We keep this company knowledge bank updated, and we use a chatbot in the front end. And this chatbot can provide like 24/7 non-stop services. It also can record the talking with employees. So here we're showing a case like the employee is asking, if I want to localize my hukou, I'm a graduate student, I want to localize my hukou in Shanghai, what shall we do? It's quite a complex process. HR no need to know the latest information. Employee can go to this platform to ask and get the latest documentation. And also, another hand is this platform can link with all the other systems, like employees' basic information system, the leave management system, even the compensation and benefit system. When they ask different questions, this system will go to the other system, get the information and send to this employee. And also this platform records the behavior of employee, right? What kind of hot questions have been asking for the most of employees. And it will give the insights to our HR team to help them better serve our employees. So with all this technology we talk about in our process, but if we want to implement them, how do we, what are the key factors we need to have to make it a success? So first of all, we need to have a very clear strategy vision, no matter to improve efficiency, to improve the employee experience, or to have more visibility, to help them making better decision. No matter what, but a very clear strategy mind, which can cascade to the different aspect of the company, like the management team, the business team, the organization management team, and then finally down to the execution team. And from top to down, everyone's aligned. Then with all this effort, what kind of results we can get? What are the benefits out of this whole digitalization journey? It's the restructure of HR team. We can move from a very traditional HR with a high cost, with the high contact service or with our employees, to become a digitalized, automated, and less cost HR team with the enabled front technology. So in this way, our HR team will no longer only focusing on the communication and the routine paperwork. It can focusing on to grow the individual employees, to grow the talents, and eventually help the companies to grow. So as I mentioned earlier, I will share a case, a practice for the digital recruitment. So I believe everyone knows the ATS, applicant tracking system. This is a system which has been existed from last century. It's quite normal in the recruitment area. But nowadays, ATS is not enough anymore. We plug in more and more technology on this platform, and we even can call it AITS. Right. So on this AITS platform, it automatically to publish our job requirement to different channels and collect the candidate's profile also automatically, because it's all linked, no matter with your account or email address. Then it will smartly tag in the profile in different keywords. Then it will help us to matching the candidate profile with the position requirement, and use chatbot, callbot to reach to the candidates to ask what's at the proper time for you to have an interview? Are you willing to try this position? Then eventually helping the recruiter to make decision. And FA has a brand called FA Talent. And FA Talent is running their business on this kind of AITS platform. So here is all the online channels we use to publishing all our job requests and getting the profiles. And we only need 1 click, 1 second, all the posting gone to these online channels. Then if one candidate apply for it, it will automatically flow into our talent pool, the profile. And the algorithm will analyze the profile. For example, if we got 2,000 candidates apply for one position, and this position requires I want education background as 211 university. Do we need to open every profile to identify is this university 211 university? No, we don't need, because this algorithm will automatically tagging the profile is 211 university. Our recruiter just need to filter all the profiles matches our requirement. So for example, we filter out 1,000 profiles. So do we need to call them individually and ask, do you want to apply for this job? No. 1,000 profile needs a long time to call to reach out, right? So we use a callbot, AI chatbot. This callbot, no need human beings involved. We just need to set up a job, and it will run automatically to reach to all the candidates. Of course, I believe everyone got a call from robot, right? But nowadays the technology is more advanced. We can simulate the real person voice. We also can record real person voice in advance, and then put it as a callbot. Then the callbot will return the result as how many call has been reached through, how many call has been rejected, how many candidates has willingness to try, how many doesn't have, and how many not sure. So our candidate can go through all the, our recruiter can go through all the records, even to look at the detail of the conversation to find out if the willingness is really strong or weak. And they only need to deal with the person who has a strong willingness, or maybe in high priority, and the low willingness or don't want, they can ignore. So this platform help our recruiter to focusing only on the high potential talents. Okay, so this is my part of sharing about the digital recruitment. And next part, I want to invite my colleague Vivian to talk about the most complicated calculation, but super important part in HR management, which is payroll.
And thanks, Chris. By introduce of myself, my name is Vivian. I'm the director from Adecco Payroll Solution Center. My team now serves for more than 2,000 clients, which including both multinational companies and the China domestic companies, and for more than 100,000 employees in total. We provide professional China payroll services, tax and compensation, consulting, and compliance services. So today I will use around 15 minutes to introduce our digital ecosystems for China payroll services. I have been asked for several times how to evaluate the success of digital transformation project. My answer is whether the leader of digital transformation project will foresee the future and ensure the system will be altered appropriately for new trend after 5 years, 10 years, even longer. It was around 40 years since FESCO Group was established in China. Once it was established, we already started to provide the payroll services to our client. Within the 40 years, although our product list have been updated quickly, but the China payroll services as well as the Social Security relevant services is still one of the most important products of us. So to summarize my experience, I would like to summarize some critical facts to ensure how can be a successful payroll operation. I think the first keyword will be compliance. So in my team, except for the customer service teams, which is in charge of the monthly payroll delivering and communication with our client, I also have two important teams internally to support the payroll services. One is our expert team. They will search and study on laws and regulation updates every day and extend their expertise to the broader teams and to ensure the accuracy of our payroll calculation. Another internal team is our IT team. The IT team has two key responsibilities. We have our self-developed payroll system. So the first responsibility for our IT is to have the initial configuration of any new client and the account updates for any existing client once the calculation logic is updated. Another key responsibility for our IT team is they need to ensure the data and the information security and to have the certification verification of our system to be updated. And the second keyword is operational excellence. The very ideal destination is one super robust system could support for entire HR life cycle and could be workable for all locations. However, the reality is it is extremely difficult to find a kind of system, or if you can find one system solution, it will be very expensive and very inflexible. So more than one solution, one system solution, the most important is how to ensure the connection, how to ensure the integration among different systems, and to make sure no system is standing as an isolated island during the operation. And the third keyword will be the strategy and the innovation. Today, HR has taken a very important role for the business development. And the business would like HR to share their insights, their suggestions for the business development. The business expectation varies and sometimes is very demanding. So the very important takeaway for the HR is how to use the existing data and let the data to tell the story for the advanced analysis and help the business to drive for the prioritize. For example, how to use the existing data to keep the key talent, how to use the existing data to analysis for the turnover rate, kind of that. This is to recognize the value of real data and ensure the data could turn into insights. So this picture I would like to introduce for our payroll operation. I think in China, in the recent years, there are two significant changes have brought huge impact for HR teams as well as the HR service provider like us. One is individual income tax reform. Another is the combination of China's social security scheme into the tax systems. The IT reform in China is almost complete by the year end of 2019. By conclusion of the IT reform, I would summarize three top challenges. The first one is the monthly tax calculation is extremely complicated than before. It was changed from the monthly tax rate to annual tax rate. It is on an annual accumulative tax rate. The second challenge is the individual as the taxpayer now has the right to submit for itemized deductions for every month. For example, the housing rental cost, the children's education cost. And the company as the withholding agent need to include for this information in the monthly payroll calculation and ensure that the calculation is accurate. And the last challenge is the annual filing is very, very complicated than before as well. The individual is a taxpayer and they can have an overall review for their whole year's monthly withholding. And any incorrect monthly withholding may lead to individuals' appeal to company and will have the back and forth communications with the local tax authority. So during the very tough period, what we have done for our operations. Look at this picture. You can easily find that we have successfully built up the connections for all of the relevant systems and ensure no single process will work with any manual process. And with all of the connected systems can ensure the streamlines the process and ensure the process is efficient and accurate. In the client systems group, maybe they will have different systems. For example, the HR may have the EHR system as the main HR system, and they will have the attendee systems. And the marketing and the sales may have the commission settlement systems, and the finance team may have the finance system. And very important is all of the data from different systems need to be included in the monthly payroll and will impact the payroll's calculation. So accordingly, in FA, we also have two major systems to support the entire procedure. One is our major EHR system, ERP. The ERP's purpose is to maintain for our employees' personal information and connect with our finance process. And also, we have another, our self-developed payroll calculation system, PPS. This system we can support for all scenarios, CMB and payroll calculations, as well as for the customized report purpose. So we have already have the successful case to have the interface with our FA systems, with our client system, like SAP, like Workday, like Oracle's PeopleSoft system. And with the China IT reform, the tax authority also launched the online filing systems and the apps. The purpose is to collect the person's information and to have the streamlined tax filing procedure. To cope with this change, we have successfully achieved the connection between our payroll system with authority systems, which means we can obtain the individual, the authorized individual's information from authority systems automatically and in time. And meanwhile, we can ensure our tax calculation is 100% accurate with the tax authority system. Both of them is consistent. Even with this streamlined procedure, I think we still have a lot of things can be done. And we keep our deep dive studies on our digital transformation process for our payroll services. I have mentioned about the strategy and the innovative mindset. So we also put a lot of efforts in this area. So last year, we launched our employee self-service platform. In this platform, the individual which is our ultimate customer, means our clients' employees. They can very easily to check for any personal information, like the payslip, like the latest regulations of Social Security practice, and like any tax-related questions from these systems by themselves. And also we have the 7 days, 20-hour chatbot. It can easily to be reached by the individual and they can raise for their questions. And also by receiving the certain questions, we will ensure our wisdom database is updated quickly so that it can solve for different questions from different cities and locations. So by these systems, it saves the HR with a lot of times and ensure that HR can be removed from the daily choir of the employees. And meanwhile, we also have our pilot project for the data analysis, for the dashboard. So with this dashboard, we try to use our existing data and help our client to do various analysis and help them to understand the business more and can use the existing data to anticipate for the new trend. So this is the real practice, how to recognize the value of the existing data and turn the data into insights. So the last page, I would like to share a case study of my client. So this client is a US foreign company, and they have both plants and office in China. And previously, they used the HR used Workday as the HR system, and the finance used the SAP as finance systems. And the HR department need to handle for assignees shifting, checking for attendees, and the calculation for the compensation on a monthly basis, which is a manual process because the attendee system, it is out of date. And also to support the finance teams, they need to help them to do the monthly GL report, which is really complicated and all of the work is on the manual process. So when the client approached to us, we have utilized 4 steps to help the client to solve the problem. The first step is we have the background understanding and we have the interview with a lot of stakeholders. The second step is we help the client to have the demand analysis, help them to find out the root cause and what was the major issues. And upon the demand is analysis, and the third step is we help the client to do the system integration. We help them to list for the new attendees systems to help the HR to eliminate from the manual process. And we help them to interface the Workday, the SAP, as well as our FA systems. And once all of the systems is connected, we have the last step is the efficiency enhance. We work closely with the client and help them to do the downstream work and work closely to ensure every implementation steps can be run smoothly. So it is glad is by year and the survey, we have seen a very good result of these products, of this project. So the OT cost is saved around 9%. And with the elimination with a lot of manual process, the HR, the payroll team's workload is have the significant with around 75%. And the accuracy of both the payroll and the GL report, it is significantly increased because previously it is a manual process, and now we rely on all of that. It is the system process, no value, no need for the manual process. With all of these efforts, we are glad to see the satisfaction rate of the employees to HR have a very great improvement. And the HR is so happy because they can be relieved from the operational work and they can take more time to have to launch for the employee-centric program. This is a real case. The digital transformation will have a very, very huge impact for the HR transformation process. So all about that is for my sharing today. And also, I know today we have a lot of multinational companies is setting for the regional locations and would like to have the regional payroll solutions. And also, a lot of China domestic companies has the plan to go to the overseas to run the business, and they want the global payroll solutions. For that, FA also can provide you with a regional or global payroll solution. So let's welcome Laura Luo from our overseas business department for introduce the details.
Thank you, Vivian. You're taking care of the most difficult part in the world, China, and I'm taking remain of the world. Just kidding. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Rola. I'm responsible for Global Business Center and the overseas market. As you see the name, we are FESCO article. We are joint venture. We have services more than for China. We have services across 80 countries. We provide local HR services there. When you're in China or talk about China, normally you cannot ignore the China reform and opening up in past 42 years. I personally have to read history and do some analysis. I cut the 42 years into 3 stages. Stage 1, that's from 1979, 1978 to 1995. I call it inbound stage. Foreign companies are pouring into China. That's why all your companies here, that's why I'm here too, because our mother company, FESCO, is the first China HR company, was established just for serving foreign companies. And we do support all our head countries. When 1998 through 2015, I call it the stage 2. The inbound still strong, but the outbound get started. Some source-related company, such as China Petrol, China Oil, 5-Memory, plus some consumer electronics, Huawei, Haier, Changhong, started going overseas. I was sent to Australia in 1999. In that stage, the OS of outbound is very, very slow. That's stage 2. Right now, it's going to stage 3. This stage 3 is outbound booming. We can see all kinds of industry are springing overseas. Another interesting find is that the Asia Pacific headquarters has been moving from Hong Kong, Taiwan, Singapore to China. So Shanghai always the best choice for Asia Pacific Center. The HR of Asia Pacific head requested to manage not only China, but also entire APEC. They got mad or they got panic. Why they get panic? Because the HR has to run 4 billion people market. They are crashed. They have low time, low energy to run, to watch 2 to 3 vendors of each country. So they request one-stop service provider. We have one client, it's a US company. They're very famous in white goods. 2 years ago, they came to FESCO article again. They say, Roland, I'm very happy to use China performs. Can you guys take care of Hong Kong, Taiwan, Macau, and Singapore as well? I said, yes, we can. So we tried, we saw, we conquered. Right now, we are requested to take more areas instead of the Asia Pacific because the global payroll platform for people management and also global payroll. So the one-stop service solution provider, not only for recruiting, payrolling, and staffing, we also help for company setup. We will help to analysis, do you lead a company established or not? And also we have to, you have to rework. We have Lishan Harris just for transaction. And also we have global mobile capability. We help our client moving people all over the world. In the platform, in our global platform, you may not need to have local legal entity. We can help you. We can help you to do global HR payroll and international management. Here's another client. They are Swiss company or Fortune 500 company. Because their Shanghai office is still the Asia Pacific headquarters, they need to send one guy to their country more than 183 days. 183 days means you have to get a working visa, but they have local legal entity. How can make it happen? So that they put their gentleman, their employee, under our local company. We sponsor a working visa for them. So that's part of international HR management. Still same this company. Their headquarters is in Shanghai, Asia Pacific. And they have some branches in Taiwan. Very funny, during the COVID-19, the first half year, because all the doors closed, no air flight. They cannot send the Shanghai guys to Taiwan for some urgent case. Because their business unit A in Taiwan, for some reason, cannot hire business unit C for business units in China. May headcount issue, may foreign currency issue in China. We have a very strict control for foreign currency going to overseas. It's very hard for you to apply people cost, pay from China to Taiwan or some other countries. So we provided them different solutions. Finally, they picked up. They signed service agreement with Shanghai, our Shanghai, the business unit C, and we hired the local people under our article Taiwan. They pay us RMB in China. We pay the Taiwan NT dollar in local. This program we call GEO, Global Employment Outsourcing. So in global employment outsourcing, you may not have legal entity. We can help you, and we build a system called IV to make it happen. In this SaaS platform, you have your HR, you have your business line manager. So the HR, business manager, and the employees can talk easily. Whatever information needed, your payroll, your insurance, your travels, and your approvals can be recorded precisely in this system and easily traced back friendly. So if it acts like your in-house HR in some degree, if the destination you managed, you don't have more than 100 people and you don't have in-house HR, this is a perfect platform for you. It's dual act in-house HR function in some degree. And if you are running more than one country with matrix report line, so you have HR team and the cross-function team, all the stakeholders cross geographies can talk easily. So one side, the vertical organization is transformed in this platform. Another side, the daily communication and approves are tracked in this platform. So whatever you needed, it will be easily found. In this platform, the most welcome party will be the dashboard. It's crystal clearly laid out. You have employee with organization, and you have the bills, and you have the calendar, and also the event. So if you lead the cost down to each cost center, and we can help you to provide it too. Because in this platform, all the daily communication was recorded. We call people section. I ask them. It's easily to address employees' question timely. We have a fresh case. It happened 3 or 4 months ago. There's a company, one VP husband was in China. his wife and kids in Singapore. He talked to their in-house HRC. I'm looking for your help. I want to bring my family in China, but I don't know how to do or how can I help it. It's asked a question in late May. In early June, we talked to them and say, guys, we found a way. We may have to have a try. And in second week of June, we helped them talk to the government. That moment, the government just released a little bit news. Special requirement can get foreign guests in. So in the middle of June, we helped his family get a government green invitation card, PU letter. Have you ever heard of the PU letter? Perfect. And on the first day of July 1st, his family landed at Pudong Airport. The VP was so excited. He wrote a long email to us with millions of thanks. We are touched too. This is how the digital transformation helped people life easy and helped to address the employee issue timely. Just the fresh case. May I ask you further questions? Or just see the lady said you heard of the letter, PU letter. Have you ever run any issues during COVID-19? Your company cannot bring your foreign employee in or cannot bring your families of foreign employees. Have you ever encountered these problems? Is anybody? No?
The founder of the executive search I'm working for was based in Hong Kong, which seems like very easy to go to mainland China, but actually it was quite long and quite difficult, and especially very, very long. And now I think it's easier with the because this letter of invitation from the local government is not required anymore. But still, I have several clients who are based in Europe, and they are supposed to come to China because they are GM or they are, and so far they haven't been able to come. So it's still complicated.
Thank you. It's getting easier now. That's September. Think of in late May. Government even don't public news yet. I do understand why, because one said they want to bring more foreign employee in, another said that they need to be concerned. I mean, during this transportation platform, we see our client have this issue. So we talk to them in a nice way, quietly. I see, we may have a try, but if you are our client, definitely we will help to find the solutions. But that means announcement to the world. It is still very complicated. As I mentioned, we take 2 weeks, get this PU later, just in June, because it just getting started. Anyhow, that's just one example how we help our client, and the platform is the best way know what we are doing. If you really like or interested in the IB platform, we have a little video for you, and hope you enjoy it. The total video will be 5 minutes. We probably go through the first 2 minutes, and you can see the dashboard. And 4 parts layout clearly, bill, money, calendar, and event. And in the digital personal information side, you can click whatever country range if you are authorized to open. So this one, as I mentioned, if you don't have in-house HR system, will be really good choice for you. Because this is a global platform, we have 2 servers to support it. One is based in Swiss, because the PFR. Another is duplicated in China, because the Chinese client request timely information updated. So we have to have dual system. I mean, it seems one system, dual server. This is just one example how you can find all the information through these systems, and it can be open to the dedicated or exact person who has authorization. And if you want to know exact cost of this person, and you have the access to get this one as well. And definitely very important if you want to do some global management for HR section and from bill side as well. Okay, guys, I don't want to make you boring. And I'm Andy Hill. In case you have any questions or if further one, we can offline talk because we still have, let me see, because we still have online team. So I come to Q&A section. I'd like to invite my colleagues, Chris and Vivian, together with me, just in case you have further questions. Yes, please.
So earlier you showed us how you help a client to make the payroll process much smoother. But I'm not sure I understand if you provided consulting so that they could reach the solution by themselves, or if you, in the end, you provided your online solution for them.
So the question goes to.
Yes, I have mentioned we have the self-developed systems. So except for we provide the payroll outsourcing service to our client, we also can have the providing for our system solutions. So which means our IT team can help the company, maybe for some small companies, medium companies, to set up for their self payroll systems, and upon the logic and the configuration is set up in their computer or systems, the HR teams can use the systems to run their monthly payroll report. So which means we provide for both service plus system solutions and the single system solutions as well.
Yes.
You provide some tax advice to foreigners.
You ask the right questions because I'm the expertise for the foreign tax advisory. Yes, we can have the personal discussion if we have any interest on that. Or if you have any specific questions, maybe we can just answer right now.
Okay. Another.
Only for China and also for global. So global means round trip, and we love to talk to you because we have different tax in beautiful places more than in China.
Second question.
You to Hong Kong and then Singapore, everyone knows. So we can talk offline.
Yeah,
it is quite sensitive, right?
It's okay, but I want to ask Iway, just you do the payroll, cover the APAC, right?
Yeah.
For example, if we have the office in Vietnam, you also cover that area, that country?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do this way. Actually, you see, Adecco, we have office in 60 countries. And in my pool is a fiscal Adecco, we have 80 countries. Some countries Adecco don't do payroll, but we have fiscal there. So answer your question, yes, we do support it there.
But it's like one HR manage the system. For example, maybe I'm an HR in Shanghai, manage the system to do the payroll for the whole APAC, right?
Yeah.
We run like this?
Yeah. You can do it. So this is the port for client side and end user side. And deep, we have local each country, our local deliveries. Either it is ASCO, is a fiscal, either it's Adecco. We do local delivery, but this is international, more for management. The money transaction will be slightly different. Thank you. Answer your question? 谢谢。
We had one question online. Someone asked if you can personalize the platform because maybe some company may have some different needs about the HR department in general. So is it personalizable depending on the needs?
So I try to make sure it goes to me or goes to. So your questions goes to in the platform. Your means domestic channel or the first one or third one?
They didn't precise. Sorry.
Can you repeat? I apologize.
So the question again was, is it possible to personalize the platform for each of your clients?
Maybe I can answer for the question if it is mentioned for the China payroll. Definitely it is, yes. Because as I mentioned, we have the self-developed system. So for different compensation logic, we can have the initial study with the client and have the initial configuration, which is the customized solutions for different clients. We already provided the payroll services, which is on a personal design for different industry, like the manufacturing, like the consumer, etc. So it can meet for, I think, 99% of the client's needs. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, just want to say like every client, they have their own situation in their company. Their system will be different with each other. And we cannot asking all the clients have a same system. And we also don't provide a standard, very standard cannot be changed platform to our customer. We always customize their requirements, always to give the best solution to the customers.
Because we are SaaS platform, the majority, the core still be same. But the interface for the end user, like we have every personal platform, it can slightly different or can be customized. So that's it. 谢谢.
Yes. Yes. What not to just what do you think for the digital HR management, like for each of you, what do you think is the like the at best how to say advantages of doing digitalization for HR? Because you are responsible for different things, so I want to know what do you think is the
Since I'm from technical background and I actually did a lot of projects for HR department in the past few years, what I see the benefits out of those projects are, first of all, the efficiency, because our target always coming from the HR team and our employees say, so I want to do things faster and I want to use my time in a more efficient way. So that's always the starting point when we start to analyze the process and then we start to put technology to improve this process. Then the side effect of that is user experience. So during the whole project, when we design the UIs, design the flows, and we luckily find out actually everyone likes it. But no matter the HR team or the employees, when they looking into something like I can do my self-service, I can just one click and do that. Everyone is so surprised. Everyone is like it so much. So that's why when we're doing this kind of system, especially internally, facing to all the employees, we always see there's a big lift of user experience satisfaction. And that impact every year's user engagement survey. So that is the practice from my experience.
Yes, maybe I can add for one point is I think because I'm the tax and the payroll service provider, so from my perspective, to use the digital transformation is to have the safe and stable for the data, and it is also very security. You can imagine if we still use the paperwork, and if the people leave, you cannot find the historical records. Our self-developed systems, we built it 10 years ago. Even right now, we still can find the first report we have run for the client at the very beginning, 10 years before. So it can ensure like even the client's teams has been changed, but the data will be very properly saved, kept in our systems. And if for any needs in future, we still can provide the client with our very safe kept historical information.
Thank you, ladies. Actually, I put in 3 words to summarize the digital transformation: compliance, convenience, and cost saving. Why this is that way? We have one, is the general manager of Brazil. He reported to headquarters saying, I requested this one compensation. Actually, it's gray area because the taxable income have to go through 1 instead of goes to 2. So in our system, we call this reminder to our client. For Brazil, the best way you do this way. If you go this one, you potentially have risk because you guys are rich. The deep pocket reason, compliance will be our first one in the digital transformation. That's first one. Second one we call convenience. It means time efficiency. Whatever it is, we have a 7/24 active. We wake up in the morning, we see Brazil communication, and we go to deploy to Africa still working. So which means 7/24 will move the global management very time efficiency. And the third one, where we see the cost saving, it is related to the first one. That is a complex issue. Similar things, the people may request some. We have funny question is, there are local guys in Germany, say, headquarters, according to local law, I need to get this compensation, something like that way. And their headquarters China ask us, your team can help to justify it's fair request or not. And we told them, here's the bylaw set, here's the industry in practice, and here's our suggestion. So in total, it is a saving. So summarize, the platform will help our client in compliance, convenience, and cost saving way. 谢谢. Answer your questions. Thank you. Yes, please.
So, FESCO Adecco's system is the same with FESCO's payroll system? Because, I mean, maybe 10 years ago, we used FESCO to do the payroll. I'm not sure it is the same system or it's different system. Yeah, the FESCO Beijing. I think at that time, FESCO and Adecco is still the 2 companies.
I believe slightly different, right?
Because FESCO Adecco, we are the joint venture of FESCO Beijing and Adecco. But for all of the business operation, we run it independently. So which means our system is our self-owned system, and it is different with our parent company system.
So it's different with FESCO's, right?
Yeah. I can answer because there are 2 years I'm working in CEO office. I support my chairman Li Ying, who is the CEO of FESCO Adecco. He manages non-Beijing FESCO group. So some foundation we talk. So FESCO system and FESCO Adecco system talk, but it is separately. So you know what it means? The technical side, they talk to each other, and the data can translate later. So through API or something like that one. But it is different system.
But I have one supplementary point is because I'm not quite sure what is about your concern, because in China, except for tax, also the social security practice is very, how to say, complex. But even we use the different systems, but like for example, our systems, if we need to do the social security registration for our clients in Beijing, we can have the internal connections with 2 systems. We do not use the manual process to feed the social security information. It is through our systems connection with our FESCO Beijing system directly. Yes. So it is connected. Like I mentioned, it is not an isolated systems group.
Okay. Another question is, do you foresee most HR will lose their job soon?
I don't think so. I don't think so, but I think maybe the HR's key functions and their major works will be shifted very quick. Not only for the operational work, because for majority of the operational work, it can be outsourced. but as I mentioned, maybe the HR will still will really be more close to the business. So you can see now for a lot of HRBPs, they know a lot of for the business. They are not only the HR expert, they also be the business expert. So they can have a lot of professional knowledge for the business and can really to anticipate the human capital trend in their specific industry and provide a lot of very valuable insights to the business to find out the key talent, where is the key talent, and how to keep the key talent. I think that is still a long way to go for the HR job.
I have a different view. See, in some partial, it will disappear. So you can separate the HR job into non-core competency, such as calculation, such as onboard, offboard. This paperwork you don't need to work on yourself. It's not value added at all. For the non-core competency, throw them to fiscal article, blue color, and you guys can focus on what will be core competency. If you look at the HR, you can be triangle. You can actually divide it in different way. So think of the company have CEO, line manager, and the strategic HR. Strategic HR, they were outsourcing. It has to be inside. So which means nobody can replace you more than in your side. So in-house HR still needed, especially how you keep your core competency, especially talent, remain in your company. That's not our system can do, that other vendor can do. It's your inside. That's your fire in your company hard to drive you crazy. That's why you are still there. No worries, we just blue color. That's my idea.
We had a question online just to complete the previous one about is it possible to personalize the platform online? So the participant was asking, do you have a standard quotation for each function of your platform?
Which one? It goes to domestic channel or the global one? Because the quote will be quite differently. We have a pricing team, have a segmentation. So you put the country associated number and what levels of service you lead. It's like a very complete metrics. So I don't think a standardized quote is an easy way to answer. Depend on analysis, the demands, and the solution, and then final will be solution plus cost. Yes. Yes, Mark.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah.
The new blood for our company and June.
Yeah. Thank you for the introduction, Rola. Because I think this is a very important question, so that's why I want to jump in. Yeah, my name is Mark. I'm the CTO of Fesco Adecco. Very glad to be here and also hear all and a very nice sharing. So back to the question here. Oh, yeah, sure. Back to the question just now, I mean, this MC asked, so I would like if you can please leave the message or contact message of that guy, because you really are asking some quotation, because we have the services, we have the very different kinds of services, from payroll, from tax, from, let's say, the social security, housing fund, and so on and so forth. Well, we cannot tell exactly what do you need based on also the really detailed demand. Then we can figure out, so what kind of service we can provide you, and also how much we are going to charge you. Well, based on what we can do here, I think you hear a lot of, already heard a lot of this digital transformation. That's a key topic for today. Then, based on what we did so far, I think our price should be very competitive. So trust us, and we can provide you very professional service plus very good pricing. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any question on site? Okay, just maybe one last question that we had online. Someone asked if your digital platform can take care of the follow-up of a recruiting process.
Recruiting process?
Yes.
I believe we have Chris.
Yeah, first of all, we have a brand, FA Talent, who's a professional recruiting provider, service provider. Second is like if in-house HR want to implement recruiting platform, we also can help. So no matter you want to searching for a service provider or you want to searching for a tech provider, we both can help.
Okay, thank you very much. Do we have any other questions?
Thank you. Thank you for all your time and patience. And if you still have a further question or demand, you know how to find us. 谢谢 Mercy. 非常感谢。好像那个 Max, we have some